today I'm just going to do a simple question and answer for you guys for some of the commonly asked questions for physique / fitness models and competitors. So let's get into it. My current stats. Okay, so I am about 5'11", creeping on 6, probably 5'11" with bare feet, so 182 centimeters, just over. I literally just weighed myself 79.1 kilograms. I'm currently dieting for the Miami Pro in March, which is 19th of March 2017, where I'm competing in my first pro show as a pro. So hopefully I can win that and get a ticket to Vegas to compete out there. What are your fitness goals for 2017? I would say that this year I'm focusing purely on competing. So I've got a show in March, which is Miami Pro, a show in April, which is Ultimate Fitness Models. I've got a show in May, which is UK Ultimate Physique. Then, should I win either of the first two, so if I win the second one, then I will be competing again in end of May, possibly in Canada, if I get an invite out to Canada. If I win the one in March, then I'll get an invite to Vegas, so that'll be at the end of the year. And I've also booked in to compete in another show in September. So basically my goals are to do really well in competitions, build up a bit of a profile, a bit of a following on my channel, on my social media, and kind of really get my foot through the door of the fitness industry and see where it takes me. Do I play any sports, or do you just work out at the gym? Okay, so I play football every Saturday, 11-a-side football every Saturday, something that I really enjoy doing. However, it does bring up its challenges because it's quite injury prone, and for me, because my training isn't specifically for lateral movements, like bodybuilding is pretty much just one single plane of movement, up and down, forward and backwards. I kind of pick up a few muscle tweaks here and there, which obviously affects my training. So at the moment I'm trying to incorporate some different things into my training at the gym for football, but not focusing on it too much, because obviously my goal is to compete and build a physique. So what is your top tip in terms of nutrition and diet? Okay, top tip is to track your macronutrients. So macronutrients are protein, fats and carbohydrates. There's so many different ways now with the fantastic internet that you can use apps, mobile phone apps, you can use websites, all sorts of stuff to gain the breakdown of, or to track or input the food that you eat, so that you can track where your macros are. Common app that everybody uses at the moment, or a lot of people use, is MyFitnessPal. You may have heard of it. Basically you can scan the barcode of all the items of foods that you eat. If you're going to eat packaged food, so half a packet, or if you're going to eat a quarter of a packet, you can kind of guesstimate it. If you want to be really specific, like when you're competing, obviously you want to be on point for the whole prep, so that you can really get down to the low levels of body fat, then you need to be weighing out your food. But really it's just a case of tracking it on the app and working out where your macronutrients and calorie intake is. And I would say that's important for both gaining muscle and bulking, just as much as it is for cutting, because if you don't know whether you're in a surplus of calories, surplus of nutrients, then you're not going to know. Then you're not going to be in the most effective bulking stage. If you don't know, if you're in a deficit, then you're not going to be in the most effective cutting phase. Simple as that. Obviously, I suppose on top of all of that, drink more water. Drink water, 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 water. What is your guilty pleasure food that you binge on cheat days? So I'd like to say I don't really have cheat days, because I just track macronutrients, and within reason, a nutrient's a nutrient, calories calorie, carb to carb, things like that. But for me, I do try and keep it as clean as possible when I'm dieting, because I get to eat more food, I get to enjoy more food. So if I'm dieting, my guilty pleasure or cheat meal would probably be now burgers maybe, some kind of like greasy burger, or maybe a pizza. I am partial to a pizza. I used to have a really sweet tooth, but since I've been competing and staying off of high sugary foods, I've kind of curbed that, and I'm not really a massive sugar fan now. I can have it, but it's usually too sickly after a while. So yeah, it would be like a fatty food or a high carb food like a pizza. Who is your inspiration in terms of fitness? Fitness is quite a broad spectrum. I would say my question whenever a client says to me that their goal is to achieve or be fit, what is fitness? So if we're talking in the way of like fitness industry and physique wise, and people that I feel look good as well as train hard and train sensibly, I would probably say that Ryan Terry is somebody that I would look up to in the fitness industry. He's currently training to win the Olympia physique, men's physique. I think he came second last year. He, for me, has got the more achievable physique for my size. He's only a year older than me as well. He's doing really well. So he's probably an inspiration. But in terms of fitness industry, I would say personality-wise, Callum von Moger. I think he's pretty down to earth. He's a big guy, classic bodybuilder, and he seems pretty decent. In terms of inspiration, aspirations, business-wise, within the fitness industry, I would say Christian Guzman is doing extremely well for himself, because he is 24 years old, owns a gym and a clothing company that is very successful, all built up based from his following on social media. So they're the three people that I probably look up to and aspire to. Any hidden talents? Well, I can kind of play the guitar. I played a lot when I was younger, had a lot of lessons. Unfortunately, because it wasn't cool to do after school clubs, I gave it up and didn't really take it up again until later on in my teens, which I'd done for a few months, and then again gave it up. So I can play chords and things like that, but I can't do anything too crazy on the guitar. And before I came into fitness, I done hip hop dancing, so that was probably what progressed me where I am now. Progressed from DJing to dancing, hip hop, street dancing, teaching street dancing, to kind of gymnastics, so backflips and things like that, so that I can incorporate into my dancing, into training. So that's kind of, that's the stepping stones, I suppose. So in terms of hidden talent, I can do a backflip by just standing on the floor, and there you go. Back somersault I think it's called, isn't it, because I don't use my hands. If you're stranded on a desert island and could only take one item and one person, which item and person would you take? Wow. Well, I'd definitely have to take my girlfriend. That would be the one person that I would take. One item. Wow. That's a tough one. One item. I would say, well, it'd have to be a condom, wouldn't it? Guys, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it.